Kings and queens, clash your swords. Yeah. You kings and queens already know.
100 kings
We
and
gonna
100 queens.
let's show up. Yeah. All right. So what we doing right now? Let's turn something off real quick here. There's some stuff going on. So if you hear me fade in and out, the government is hacking my computers and my phone. Okay? So, hope you hear everything here. If not, then I will just go back through and I will re-record it again. It's nothing to me because the word got to get out. The truth has to get out. Truth be told. Okay? Not sold. King, well, why you selling? No, I'm giving you education, buddy. Okay? All right. So, what we're going to do today is give you a lesson. Now, those that are not renewed with the $29.99, we changed the process. Those who was over on YouTube, you don't get those benefits anymore because we're not over there. I gave you a whole month to change over to the new way to be a joiner member. If you're new and you want to become a joiner member and get the private videos, get a lot of free stuff, then it's only $29.99 per month. And you get free deeds when you join. You get a free 1-hour VIP per month. You don't get it all the time. And we're checking our records to make sure y'all not abusing that. Because when y'all start abusing, I'm going to cut it out. I'm not going to do it anymore. Because there's some of you that have more than one VIP, and you know you didn't tender the VIP. I'm very busy, so I really can't keep up with it. You know, I got an assistant that helped me with this stuff, so that means when they check, I'm going to come back and like, you owe us $40 for that. And I might add a $10 fee in that, which would make it $50. And if you don't want to do that, then, well, I'm going to tax you the $100 million, and then you're going to have to deal with the IRS on that. Okay? So at the sound of my voice, you agree that you will not abuse the gifts that I give you, okay? I was thinking about the other word, perks. I just don't like that word, perks. But anyway, all right. Those that are not a joiner member, and it's in the description. So you just click on that, tender that, and make sure you have a name, because I got somebody who don't even have a name on theirs. I think they're called higher frequency something. And I know that's not you, Seville. But I need your name, okay? So I will not, if you don't have a name on your PayPal, if you don't email me with proof that you tendered the payment and give me your name, you won't be invited to the meeting. I don't invite nobody to our group because you're nobody. I don't know who the hell you is. The group don't know who the hell you is. You come in and you're just spying on us. So you will not be invited if you do not have a real name on there, okay? And you won't get any of the information. I will not mail it out to you, email it out, do any of that, okay? So do this in truth and honor, and we will assist you in truth and honor, okay? But back to it, besides just getting the VIP, 1-hour VIP per month, you get the deeds, 2 deeds. You get other free things that I'm offering, like free music. We just dropped the single, and I'm going to play it at the end of this video. Set Me Free, okay? Set Me Free by me, King Stevian, okay? A dedicated track to us and RIP to George Floyd. So that's what that is all about. Let Me Breathe, Set Me Free, okay? Name of the track. And I got another one I'm working on. It's called Transmitting Utility. Let me make sure right now. This track. Hey, you wrote the song and you forgot it. Just like Ike Turner said to Tina. It's called Utility Love. Transmitting Utility Love. That's what it's called. Okay? So you got to hear it fresh mix of an old school classic. Okay, I'm always gonna be dropping these mixtape songs for y'all because I love it, man. It just got a lot of feeling. The old school music got way more feeling than this stuff today. So that's why Tupac used to always rap over those old school traps like Sade and, man, a lot of traps I can't even name. But anyway, if you are not a joiner member and you want to get a copy of the, lesson that I'm giving you today on through email, you can tender $10 to paypal.me/STT Estate Trust. And make sure you put it in the comment section that you are purchasing this lesson. Okay, and I'll show the name of the lesson when I get to the Word document that I typed up, copied, pasted, so you can get a copy of that so you can go through and, yeah. So you'll get the video and you will get the Word document. Okay. Now, those that want the physical copy, it is $60, free shipping. Now, what is included in that is a deed, which is a certificated deed. That's the claim showing that you own it, ownership. Okay. And you get an assignment deed. Why do you need that? According to 31 U.S.C. 3727, not because I'm looking at the screen right now. 3727, a claim has to be made before an assignment is done. You can go read that. So you can't assign anything to anyone unless you do a claim on it. So every video I do, every document, deed, song, it has been claimed, whether by barcode or 1099A. It's a claim. It's brought into commerce. Okay? That's why I have a 12-digit barcode stemming from the 13-digit barcode. And some of them I do a 1099A on. Okay? To prove the claim. Then I assign it over to you guys. Okay? So once y'all get your assignment, whatever values on that instrument, you can do a 1099A on. So what you would do is you would do it as I assign it to you. Okay, I'm the creditor. That's what a creditor, true creditor is one who gives credits. Okay, and these are lawful money credits. So in your description box of the 1099A, let's go over here real quick. Let's pull up the 1099A. 1099 online. We're going to go to 1099 online right now. Okay. Let me show y'all how this goes. So y'all will know. Okay, we're going to do 2025. Doesn't matter what year. Okay. We're going to go 1099A. Okay. Because y'all need to know this specifically. And don't change anything. The way you're going to do it is, it's going to be assigned by Cityside Records. Cityside Records is under the Stevie Tyrone Thompson Estate Trust, which is foreign. That's why you're allowed the barcode. So let's go over here and save ends I did. So I don't know what song I have with a barcode. Matter of fact, let me look. Look and see what songs I have with a barcode right now, and I can pull up the barcode, baby. You gonna pull the barcode up, King? Yeah, I'm gonna pull the barcode up. Well, pull my dress up, I'm done. God dang it, girl, don't you leave me. I know I work too much. God dang, I'm always working. God dang it, you leaving me, girl. Shoot, somebody always leaving me for y'all. God, Lee. See the sacrifice I take for y'all? I'm always doing something for y'all. And all the women just leave me. I hear you, girl. You saying, King, I won't leave you. Yes, you will, because I'm always working. Anyway, I can't find a song. So let's do this. Let me pull up one of these. You know what? I got one. I got it right here. I'm going to use laid back. I'm going to use laid back. That's what I'm going to do. Use laid back. 100,224. Okay? Now, if you notice, the assignment is not a 12-digit barcode. Why? Because I'm not assigning it in the public. If I was signing it in the public to you, then it would be a 12-digit barcode. Okay? So, in the description section, you're going to put lawful money credits from, and then you put that number over here. And if it's gold, then you put gold. You put that there. So, boom. It all fits. Lawful money credits from, and then you put the barcode. That is it. Now, your name goes, I'm just going to put unknown artist. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? Now, you do not check box 5. You are the borrower. You're really not the borrower. Okay? You're really not the borrower. You're not borrowing, but if you violate, you will become a borrower. Now, this is what differs you from a regular borrower, because you're actually getting credits. I'm assigning credits to you. Okay? We could do it as, because I'm assigning it to you, we could do it as your straw man is the lender and is giving it to your trust or your estate, okay? But your estate don't want to borrow either, okay? So, if it's your foreign trust and you're the straw man, it's assigned to you. If you look at the certificated deed, it says you're the owner, okay? Now, you're lending it to the trust for the trust to do its work for you as the beneficiary. So let's do it that way, okay? I'm just showing you another way where I could do it, but I don't want you to feel like you're a borrower. Make your trust a borrower, okay? Now, do not check box 5. It said check if the borrower was personally liable for repayment. No. The trust don't have to give a repayment. The trust has to give interest to the beneficiaries, okay? And you don't want no bonds on your trust. So when y'all do that and you file taxes, then that's what will happen. You're supposed to be free of bonds. That's the job of the trust, to free you from the bonds and your straw man from the bonds, and you are to keep the trust and the trustees not liable unless they just F up and start stealing. But you're running it, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, date of lender's acquisition, that's the date when I assign that instrument to you. Check that date. Even though this date is 2025, it doesn't matter. Balance of principal outstanding. Now, whatever that amount is of that deed, so if it's 100 million right here, make sure that's 100 million. Yep, that's 100 million. Boom. When you first start, ask me how many other people came before you. So if the value of that deed is 100 million, and I gave it out to 10 people, well, that makes that 1 billion now. Okay? 1 billion. Just make sure. Yeah. So you got to multiply it times 10. Ask me how many people are before you. It doesn't matter what your deed says when I send it to you. What matters is what you're starting with here. Okay? And every now and then, every 6 months, ask me, hey, can I get an updated deed? Okay? And I'll do that for you. Okay? So y'all got that. Do not check box 5. Okay? The straw man, first, middle, and last, goes up here. Then down here is your trust. So now your trust is holding it. Okay? So it's saying, because this is for acquirement or abandonment, okay? And really, your straw man is the one that's taking it over. And it's not taking it over from your trust, but it's actually giving it to the trust, okay? The trust already has it. And then when you think about it in another way, the trust has the instrument to be able, again, to pay the beneficiaries. So now it makes the trust owe the beneficiaries and pay the interest. It's using the instrument here, okay, right? So I'm showing you different ways it can go, okay? Now, you could do it in the sense of, because I'm not the borrower. Keep that in mind. I'm not the borrower. I'm the lender. And I'm not lending it, okay? And the reason I put the lender is you and your trust is the borrower, because it's only borrowing it to do work for the beneficiaries. So this is what allows you to be able to do it that way. Because it's kind of confusing when you think about it. If I did it and put my record company and your name, you would be a dang borrower. So I don't want you to feel like you are a debtor. Okay? And that's the only reason I'm saying this. All right? So that's it. That's how you acquire the instrument that I gave y'all. Okay? So we're going to go back. So I kind of lost my train of thought. But today we're talking about negotiable instruments, debt instruments. We're talking about Form S3 and Form D, okay? Registration of your instrument, okay? This is of the debt instrument, okay? Now, once you get your registered, because I registered with the barcode, it's already registered, it's already assigned, but this way solidifies it for commerce. So once you put it on any debt instrument, stamp it, staple it to, paperclip it to, now you just brought it into what? Your assignment, take away a barcode, you just brought it into the United States. 12-digit barcode, look at any barcode in your local grocery stores, clothing stores, 12-digit barcode, and now it's in commerce according to 26 USC 1231. So I already went over that video before. Let me go back to the code again so y'all can see it. I want to make sure I cover everything so y'all have a great understanding of this. Okay? Property used in trade or business and involuntary conversion. So involuntary conversion is if a police pull you over, they're kind of forcing you to settle a debt when you didn't want to do business with them. You always tell them, I do not want to do commerce with you. I reject your offer. Like if you get a ticket, all you got to do is put rejection of solicitation, make copies of it, and send it back to them. If they pursue, then they're forcing you into commerce when you already denied them, and you do a dispute letter with the United States Department of the Treasury. Look at my video called Do a Dispute Letter, or Do a DLT by King Stevian, and you will see. Okay, and you got to have the durable power attorney that has the barcode on, the foreign barcode. Don't go out there and just try to do this stuff without having the barcode. Some of y'all be just doing stuff, and y'all wondering why y'all ain't being successful. Okay, follow my instructions. Now, so you're bringing it in commerce. It's talking about gains and losses. It's a loss to you because you was forced to give something. It's a gain to them because they use your name. Okay? Now it's still a loss. You lost some with your name, and you also lost again because you paid the debt, which made it an involuntary conversion. You had to convert it out of the private into the public. Understand what just happened here? So if your instrument is over here, and it's worth $1 billion. Okay, now you got them for $1 billion. Your copyright is $100 million, and you need to have that from me. Those who do not have it, you know, those who are not part of the group, you get, and those who are doing the $29.99 per month, you get a free copyright. Okay, that means you don't have to pay $25 for the barcode. You don't pay for the document. You don't have to join the university. You're getting that for free. I'm thinking I'm spoiling y'all. Nah, King, you spoiling us. Okay, thank you. But anyway, so you got $1 billion. Your copyright is $100 million plus 100 acres of land. So it's $100 million in silver, pure silver coins. See? Now there's a gain for them. Now you settled the debt of whatever they're saying you owe, because that's all they're doing. So we're going to play their game, okay? But we're going to beat them at it. And this is why I'm giving you all this stuff here in these lessons. Okay, so long-term capital gains and long-term capital losses, as the case may be. Now, I want y'all to know this. Dre Sear he received a letter from the IRS after we turned in the thing for the birth certificate. I think it was the birth certificate. And they told him, oh, you can't claim number 30%. It was 30%. 30,000 or 300,000. It was one of the ones I just mentioned. We'll find that out Friday. But they said you can't claim all this year, but you can claim it till it's used up. So let me tell you what that means. And this is what happens in real estate. Well, I tell you about real estate. I think they only give it for 10 years. You got a deduction every year. Well, say for instance you got paid, and keep in mind, the money, the fiat, has to be paid, or the law of money has to be paid to the name on the return that received that letter from the IRS saying this is how much you can deduct every year. They said he can deduct it until it's all used up. So if he got $600 billion, you know what that means? If he got $1 billion today from a job, selling a company, he cannot be taxed. He just deduct that loss out of the loss that he had the past year and bring that over. Any job he worked, okay? If it's in his name, he can deduct it. I hope y'all get the benefit of having these losses. Free income, no taxes, ever. Because it's going to take hell and high water to use up $600 billion in losses. Okay? Now, we're going to go down here. I want you to see this. It says, any recognized gain. Now, this is the gain that they got. It says, gain on the sale of or exchange of property used in the trade or business, and any recognized gain from the compulsory or involuntary conversion as a result of destruction. Okay, so if you made a gain from these things, then you have to report that. Okay, and then they can tax you on it. But if you got that loss that carries over every year, then you won't get taxed. Okay, so they're going to have the gain because they gained your property, so now they're taxable. Unless they're doing what you're doing and have that big loss, then yeah. But property used in trade or any capital asset which is held for more than 1 year and is held in connection with a trade or business or a transaction entered into profit. Okay, so we're going to go down because I want to find this for you and then move on. Let's find this. Held for more than 1 year. Involuntary conversions. Capital assets, and they tell you what you can use the gains or the losses on, and that's what we get into. Let's find this. Here we go right here. In B, okay? Property held by the taxpayer primarily for sale to customers in the ordinary course of his trade or business. A patent, invention, okay? Model, or design. And when they say these, they're also meaning copyrights as well. It's not limited. Okay, that's why it also says a secret formula, that's the 7-step process, a copyright, see, a literary, that's music, that's your music, you get it, musical or artistic composition, that's your song, your audio, a letter or memorandum. So if I write a letter, your letter to this job or this company you deal with, if you put a barcode on your letters, you can register that thing on this over here, a 1099A. And then you put letter from barcode number, boom. That's why you have to get these barcodes. These barcodes are transmitting utilities. It was transmitted because they stole it or forced you to use it. Your copyright is like a letter. You get it? Now, what does it say here? Whether or not patented. So that goes for the invention, whether it's registered, model, secret formula. Secret formula can be patented. Okay? So whether it's patented or not. That's why it says it right there. A copyright, a literary, any of these things here. Or similar property. Held by a taxpayer. It's held by who? Your trust. Held by your estate. You might say you're not a taxpayer. But I beg to differ. They label everything that got a tax ID number as a taxpayer. That's why it's called a tax ID number. Okay? So, and there's other things you can read, government publications, those type of things, collectibles, all that stuff there. Okay? So we're going to get out of this one. We're going to get out of this one. We're going to keep that open. So that right there was breaking the ice right there for y'all. Okay? Because we're going into transmitting utility. So when I say you can put that barcode on anything or attach it to anything, once it's like King Midas. Anything he touches turns to gold. Okay? So if your song you got from me is connected to that instrument, now you settled the debt on that instrument. Now, I'm going to get to this in the day's lesson about your copyright, your song, all those things, what it does for you once you settle the debt. Okay? Now, 31 U.S.C. Code 3123, payment of obligations and interest on public debt. Bear with me. I don't know if it's going to be a long lesson. I think it is. So, if those who want silver or copper, a physical, tangible instrument with the USB, tender $60 for this class, and I will mail it to you. Okay, make sure your mailing address is up to date. This goes for any of the lessons that I do. You will get the paperwork that I got typed up, so that way you can go over the lesson with me. That way you can always look at it, show it to your offspring, your family members or tribe members, and hey, you can use that to settle your debts. That's the benefit of it, that you're going to see. Okay, but it's going down. A, the faith of the United States government is pledged. They're pledged. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Michael Jackson is a fag. Oofy not. Okay, let me stop. Okay, pledge to pay in legal tender, principal and interest, see that, on the obligations of the government issued under this chapter. B, the Secretary of the Treasury shall pay interest due or accrued on the public debt. Now, this is what we're getting into today. We're getting into the interest part, due or accrued on the public debt. You might say, how? King, how can interest be on the public debt? Yeah, I owe AT&T, I owe Verizon, and that's interest building up. You're going to find out today. As the secretary considers expedient The secretary, watch this, may pay in advance, interest on what? The public debt by a period not more than 1 year, short term, with or without a rebate of interest on the coupons. Okay? The secretary may issue a bond, note, or certificate of indebtedness authorized under this chapter whose principal and interest are payable, and foreign currency stated in the bond, note, or certificate. Now, so those who think the OID is for a domestic mother sucker, do you understand why it's foreign? Because these Europeans, these colonizers are what? Foreigners on our land. That's why they're paying them foreign currency. Y'all getting it? In the bond, note, or certificate, the secretary may dispose. So that means they can sell those bonds. Of the bonds, notes, and certificates at a price that is least par value, without complying with Section 3102B through D of this title. 2, in determining the dollar amount of bonds, notes, and certificates of indebtedness that may be issued under this chapter, the dollar equivalent of the amount of bonds, notes, and certificates payable in a foreign currency. So do you know why now you have to be foreign, you domestic, non-status, corrected mother suckers, you? Y'all out there trying to get cars and houses and all this, and you're trying to skip over the Form 56 and 2848 and durable power of attorney with a foreign barcode. Do you get it now? I'm gonna let that ponder on you for a second. Breathe. Close your eyes. Pull your ears so you can hear. Think about it. Get on the cloud. You're in heaven. God's talking to you. Feel that? You hear that? You see that? All right, let's go. Is determined by the par of the exchange value on the date of the issue of the bonds, notes, or certificates as published by the Secretary under Section 5151 of this title, that's 31 U.S.C. 5151, which talks about the dollar-for-dollar exchange and the precious metals. Okay? 3, the Secretary may designate depositaries. Depositaries and depository, there is a difference. Depository is, let's go over here and look at this. Let's go, stop talking over here. Let's go look at it. So y'all can see. Depository, a person to whom is lodged in trust. Let's go back. Now, Secretary may designate depositories in foreign countries. So, let's go back. Something is lodged in trust. So there's a trust created where they oversee these funds. And somebody benefits. It says in foreign countries. So when you have your 9-8, you have Kenya, you have a bank account to go with that, and they will deposit this in there into your trust. 9-8 trust. Y'all get it? In which part of the proceeds of bonds, see, notes or certificates of indebtedness payable in the foreign currency may be deposited. Now, let's go over here to depository. Let's go, wait a minute. It says for a share or receipt, represent a share in a foreign country. See? Company. The depository share or receipt is traded on the stock exchange of the investor's country. See? So if you got a 9-8 and you're in Kenya, then that's where it's traded at. Okay? Country rather than the actual share which is deposited in a foreign bank. See? So let's go to depository. Depositories. Find out what that is, baby. A person to whom something is lodged and trusted. See, it's still saying depositary. I want it depository. Give me depository, baby. Give me depositories. Jeez. Depository meaning refers to an organization. This is your regular bank accounts, by the way. Organization, bank, or institution that collects assets from individuals and businesses and keeps them insured and safe. What is that? FDIC insurance. The organization stores financial information. I can just say that on my own because I already know you know this. Okay? Different. See? Just skipping over some. Depositories focus on managing assets. Yep. Stocks, bonds, that sort of thing. Facilitating transactions, deposits, withdrawals, and providing such and such and such. So, y'all get it. Okay? In foreign countries in which any part of the proceeds of the bonds, notes, or certificates of indebtedness payable in the foreign currency may be deposited. So now do y'all see why you have a 9/8 and you get your 9/8 bank account, and then when you have it with your brokerage firm and the Treasury deposits it in there, okay? But they said they may designate, okay? So if they send it over to Fidelity, as instance, okay, it's their job to watch over those funds. So let me give you a good example. Now, the Queen, I told she had got $100 million. And it was in the Fidelity account. And I told her what to do. I told her to get a line of credit against it. Because with that line of credit, she could have used it, but it had to be paid back every month. But that means she would have had to keep doing the accepted for credit every month, or a bunch of times every month, to where she keep getting money. You gotta keep, how can I say it, residuals coming in. So you got to keep doing your bills to keep getting this $100 million or more coming in, or some equating to the $100 million. Okay, but she went and she took out $60,000, and guess what happened? Fidelity told the Treasury what she did. She didn't take it out for investment. The funds you cannot spend. This is why I tell y'all cannot spend those funds. And I've told y'all. And let this woman be a prime example of what I'm saying. Okay? And if you want me to get the king on the phone that knew her personally, because I tried to help her and told her what to do. She didn't want to listen. She listened to one of these other fake guru girls and got her ass in trouble. Okay? So, she spent the $60,000. The Treasury was notified, and then as the Treasury is notified, the CID division, the FBI is notified, and now she's on the run. So for all you who think I'm lying, y'all just want to put fiat in your pocket and try to go to the strip club and make it rain, whether you're going to the strip club for a male swagging his little swagger between his legs in your face, or a woman that's shaking her sweaty ass breasts in your face. Hey, you can't pull it out and do that. Only thing you can do is show her your goddamn, and him, your goddamn Fidelity deposit slip, summary of statement. Yeah, girl, I got this. It's money on this statement. Whoo! See that $100 million, girl? Touch it, touch it. I don't think he's gonna do that. Anyway, payable in the foreign currency may be deposited. So we're going to go over to some that fact checks what I'm showing y'all about the foreign. Watch this. Go over here. File Form 1099 OID. If the original issue discount includable in gross income is at least $10. That's not what I'm trying to prove, but you know $10, $10. Go to McDonald's all the time. You're spending about $15, $16. You got one already. Bam! For any person, watch this, for whom you withheld and paid any foreign tax on an OID. And I told y'all what to do. If y'all going to pay the tax with an adequate security, use the 1041 form, pay it for them with your adequate security, and now the company owes you for a tax loan. This is what they do to everybody with child support. This is what a lot of these companies do, and this is why you have to pay this stuff back. And they say it's a tax debt, and they go to the Treasury, and the Treasury advances them the money. You're about to see this. So, and I gave y'all the address to mail those payments to. So, yeah, that's it. You're paying it for them, and under 26 U.S.C. 1445, it says that the transferor or transferee has the right to pay it. Okay? From whom you withheld and did not refund. So if I withheld the money, why would I refund this back to the company? Because they can do refunds, you idiot. Y'all see that? Any taxes that your job take out, they can refund it to you. Says it right there. If they were you withheld. They're the one that withhold from you. Any federal income tax. See? Any. Keyword is any income tax. Under the backup withholding rules, even if the amount of the OID is less than $10. So you worked that goddamn job. You was out there sweating for goddamn 50 hours that whole week. And all they gave you was $5. I don't know what the hell gonna do that, but they gave you $5. Still can do an OID. Just put it in perspective where you can see it. All right? So we're gonna go to the next thing. The key thing is here. Foreign paid any foreign tax. 26 U.S.C. 1445. Right? We're on the 8281 over here. Because I wanted to break this down so y'all can get an understanding of this thing. I'm not going to go over it. But you're the issuer. You're the issuer of the debt instrument. Now, Gene King has some things that were incorrect when it comes down to the issuer. You're only the issuer if that company owes you something. So if you did an executive at all the kings and queens in the universe, only in the university, who getting the barcodes, doing the process, at any time you can get your executive order, barcode. So that way you can send it out to the companies. Just start throwing it out there at them like you're in the strip club. Pop, 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 pop. Just throwing them ones. Pop, 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 pop. Okay? That's where you're going to do your executive order to all your bill collectors, all your ex-jobs. Everybody gets the business. That's your first invoice. Through certified mail tracking receipt. The next day, you're going to go to USPS tracking plus, and you're going to extend that tracking number for 10 years. This allows the Treasury, when you finally do the taxes, to be able to look at that tracking number to prove that the company received the debt instrument, which is your invoice. That executive order is an invoice too. But when you do your packet, that's the accepted for credit. That's your 1099-A, your 236. I'm giving y'all stuff right here now. Your certificated deed with the barcode, 13-digit barcode. Your assignment deed with a 12-digit barcode that you get from me, okay? And now you have an invoice with that. That's the last invoice. Send that out to them. Of course, with the 236, that's notarized and filled out correctly. And now they are a debtor. You got 2 tracking numbers proving that. You're going to do the same thing with the second. Or you can mail it all out at once. But I would do the executive order first. That'll scare the shit out of them. Let them know I'm coming. I know what you did last summer, you bummer. Now we about to get warmer. We was over here cold. Cold, funky Medina. Is it cold, funky Medina? Medina, cold, Medina? Whatever it was, Tone Loke. But anyway. So, now, issuer's address. The issuer is you. You issued the debt instrument. So all you who was in that group with that, I ain't going to say that, that Barney, you're the issuer. Y'all didn't issue no debt instrument, and y'all, I'm about to call y'all some idiots, went and did an OID. Do you see this? Original issue discount instrument. Did y'all even include the instrument? No, you didn't. Because the instrument goes with this. One queen says she did an instrument. You're lying. Because in order to send the instrument, it got to be sent to this with this. You say you didn't do an 8281, but you gave them a negotiable instrument. That don't make no damn sense. Caught you lying. Don't try to lie to me, y'all. Some of y'all keep listening to these goddamn fake-ass gurus out here, and y'all getting these checks, and the Treasury is setting y'all up. Let's give it to them so we can come back and arrest their ass. I'm giving y'all the breakdown today, the clear breakdown of this stuff. You got, dude said I heard he had about 1,000 people over in that group. And these groups got about 1,000 people in there. And I tell you, if you deal with a person that got that many people in a group, you need to goddamn run. They're over there for fame. Showing off. Listen, 1,000 people, I'll be handling stuff with my own tribe. We all doing negotiable instruments, OIDs, 8281s, and I got a letter I'm going to show y'all as well to go with this stuff. Name of representative, that is your king name, that is not your straw man. I'm going to say it again. That is your king or queen name, not your straw man. And the king name need to be your first name spelled backwards. The name your mama gave you, spelled backwards. Then of the last name your mama gave you. My mama didn't name me, my daddy. Wait, your daddy, mama. That's your mama, daddy. Okay? Last name, estate. So king, if it's John, is Noj, N-O-J, of the, if it's Williams, Williams estate. That's your representative. That's what should be on the 8280, excuse me, the Form 56, 2848, and your durable power of attorney in fact. Okay? Same address as the straw man. You're taking that over. There is no CUSIP number. Always. Never a CUSIP number. You don't have a goddamn CUSIP number. Go watch my video on Screw You Guru, my CUSIP numbers are fake. Type that in on YouTube. If you're not a $29.99 per month member, then you're not going to be able to see it. But those who are a $29.99 per month member, send me an email to cityside2006@duck.com to request that video, and I will send it to you. Any videos that y'all need, they're private. I will send those to you. That's how this works when you become a $29.99 per month member. I will try to give you the last 10 videos once you join. Okay? Make sure y'all email me so I have your email and stuff. Because some of you are signing up through PayPal and y'all are not updating your email address. So when I'm sending stuff out, you're not getting it. And then y'all coming back complaining. Hey, King, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. But did you do what I told you? Update your email address on PayPal. Send me your updated email. Issue date. When did you send the date? Send the history. I'm talking about the date. I'm sitting around here dating goddamn Jennifer Lopez. No, not for I'm just joking. Jennifer can't sing, King. She sure can't. She tried to sing to me. I fell asleep on her ass. Shoot. But anyway, so you're talking about CUSIP number, issue date. So this information right here is if you already went to a underwriter and you filled out the form S3 or Form D by the SEC. And we're going to get into those forms. This is the issue date. That's why down at the bottom it says within 30 days of after the date of issuance. Issuance. See? And we look up what entire issue is. Let's go to that. I'm trying to break this thing down to y'all so y'all have a great understanding. Great. God dang it. Trying to catch Joker. The catch. You goddamn bastard. They ain't stop cussing the form out. It ain't do nothing to you. Yes, it did. Look at that. It ain't even coming up. You dirty mother sucker. Let's go over here. Go to Google. Entire issue. And you should have did that first time. You wasted our time for that. Oh, shit. I wasted 1 minute of your life. Anyway, entire issue refers to the comprehensive, undivided totality of a subject, problem, or publication, meaning nothing has been omitted. It signifies this is not what I was looking for. Entire issue in finance. Let's do finance. So you got to do it. An issue, refers to the process of offering securities, such as stocks and bonds. See, so when you talk about the CUSA number, this is what they're talking about. To investors to raise, the key word here, this is what y'all need to see, raise capital for business operations, expansion, or debt repayment. Debt repayment. Debt instrument. They owe you, because you sent off the invoice, the executive order to them they owe you your lawful money. These can be a new issue, new issues, see, IPOs, and this is exactly what I was going to get into today. Your bills are like IPOs when you're doing the 8281. Where's my 8281? When you do this instrument here, this is your application for an IPO. So, once you go to the underwriter, now you got everything set up, ready to go. Now you turn in this form right here. You turn in this form with the Treasury. That's why you have to put the CUSA number of the new bond. Some of you idiots out there talking about this is your CUSA number. Y'all go doing these 8281s and y'all have it all jacked up. They're talking about the new CUSA number that you just got from your what? Debt instrument. Where is that? I was looking for that word. Debt instrument, right there. Within 30 days after the date of the OID, debt instrument. So you know the OID go with this. So once I issue that, meaning I issue it to the public. So within that 30 days, okay, you should have a CUSA number, because you got to be well established before you get that. They give you your CUSA number. Now you can go to the Treasury. If they haven't already done it, that's why you give them the CUSA number. And then they'll know that there are bonds that are issued and that are out there raising funds. And what you're doing is using this form to get an advance for that. Okay? Are y'all getting it? That's why they say SEC registration date right here. Okay? Now, when we go back to 31 USC 3123, it says the secretary may issue a bond. So this is when you let the secretary know that there isn't a bond, okay? You're asking them to issue one. So what we're going to do on the form right here, show y'all what to do. This is the new thing. We didn't have to do this before, and you still don't have to do it, but please issue. Okay? It's always going to be contingent. Always. So now, the Treasury, who has a list of underwriters, and you can type this in, go to Google and type in U.S. Treasury underwriters list. And you should get that. They have a bunch of different underwriters that they go through and that are registered to be underwriters. Okay? Over there is always contingent as well. That's contingent upon payment that they're going after the bill collector. I mean, not the bill collector, but the ones that you have a contract with. Excuse me. I'm trying to get ahead of myself because we got a lot today to talk about. Now, your interest payment dates, along with your principal, has to be within 1 year. So you got to break that thing down. So if I do 126, 226, 326, 4, all the way up to 12, that's 12 months of interest payments. And it says under the things that I'll read that they do it for 12 months. See, and that's what it said in this code here. I think that's where it was. For a year, yeah. Advance, Secretary may pay interest, we just left from that, on the public debt by a period of not more than what? 1 year. So that's where you get this from. Let's get out of that right here. Interest payment dates. Okay, you do 1, 20, 26, and you got to keep going. 2, 20, 26. Okay, I'll be specific and put the dates. I'll do like the 15th of the month. Wake up, wake up. It's the 15th of the month. Got your checks and come on. Can you sound better than him? Thank you, homie. But anyway, you get the point. All right? Issue price, percent of principal amount. What is the percent of the principal amount versus that with the interest added? Now, your principal is going to be, and we did this slightly different before, okay? There's always updates. We're not wrong by what we're doing. We're just making things better, okay? Normally, the issue price would be, like if I had a $3,000 bill, told them they had to pay it, we would break the interest down different, stated interest rate, okay? But we did that, and then we changed it to the percentage. So I'm going to put this here, but it's not what you put. I'm going to tell you why. And then the interest rate, okay? So, and I'm putting these numbers here so you can know how to do it. So say means the interest was, let's go here. What's your mind? So if I did 3,000 and I say they owe 200% or 200, it'll be 600,000. So it'll be 603,000. Okay, so what is 603,000 percentage of that principal? I think I did that wrong there. Let's go back. Let's do 3,000 divided. Look like I got like close to 5%. 5%. Okay? So we got the stated, so you got to find out the interest rate. Well, this is the stated interest rate here. That's different. And then you got the issue price, the percent. So they just want the percent of that principal. Okay? Issue price, percent of principal amount. Okay? So what is the principal amount to this whole amount, or it would be of the OID. So it's pretty much the total, okay? And I hope y'all get that, right? So the amount of the OID for the entire issue, that's the 603,000, okay? Yield to maturity, that's the yield to maturity a year. I think the one right now is 3.65 right now percent. For 2026, because it's a year bond that we want to put them on. They're not going to pay no more interest after that. So, but when you think about what the Secretary did with your birth certificate, you have a good idea of how they're working. Okay? They get paid within that year, break it down, and then you're locked in on a bond for 30 goddamn years. the Treasury, the Secretary of the State never told you owed anything. Didn't tell your mom you owed anything. So this is why we're coming in and we're settling the debt on the birth certificates. Okay? And those who need to know, we do have a class on how to settle your birth certificates. Okay? I think that class is 125, it might be 200. I think that one's 200 for the birth certificate. For those that are new that need that. And you will sign an NDA, rules and regulations, and no refund policy in order to get that USB. And it comes with 2 deeds where you can settle your debts. Okay? So you can use the same dang on deeds to settle the birth certificate. We have to do that. Then you do a dispute letter pretty much at the same time. Watch that, do a DLT, do a dispute letter by King Stevian on YouTube, and you'll know how to write that letter. Get your power of attorney from me with a barcode, prove that you're foreign so you can get the lawful money. That's the purpose of that. And they start their investigation. A week later, after they get it, you're going to do a 3949A. Okay? If you need proof with the 3949A on your birth certificate, what you're going to do is you're going to go to they say some of them go to Bloomberg, and then there's a certified CPA. I forgot the name of the form. If anybody knows, please put it in the comment section. That will do the investigation for you. No FOIA request will not work. Okay, it's a certified CPA. They run the background on the negotiable instrument, and they tell you the whole history of that thing in and out. Okay? I know because that was the king that did it. Okay, stated redemption price. So what is the total redemption price with the interest, okay, when you come back to redeem it? Okay? So if I do 3.65 at the end of the year, then it's 3.65 times that are added onto the 603,000. I'm just giving you an example, and that would equal that. Okay? So you're adding that, or whatever that percentage is of that, and then you add it back onto that, and that's your answer right here. I hope I said that math right. If I'm not, correct me on that, y'all. All right, because I got a lot on my mind right here, because we got a lot to go through today. Attach a schedule of OID per $1,000. So those who acting like they didn't have to do an OID, okay, with the 8281, here it is. Okay? It says this is based on a 6-month accrual period. Okay? It must show the daily portion of the OID for each accrual period. Okay? It's based on 6 months. So you're doing a year, that's 2. Get it? Each accrual period and the total OID for each calendar year. For additional requirements, see instructions. Here's y'all instructions. Read it. So I'm just skimming through this. This is your king or queen name down here. Unless y'all doing y'all last tax filing, then it would be your full name here. First, middle, last, what you were born with. Okay? I'm not going to break everything down. I'm giving you majority of this. Okay? So y'all can have a great understanding, which seems like I already did already. Okay? So, we're going to exit out of this. Go to the next thing. This is the OID. Okay? So when you do your OID, you got a 1096 that has to go with this. When y'all do this, and I said this in the meeting, okay, if you got some on line 1, line 2, you have amount on line 4, line 5, you possibly can have some on 8, and that's only if you have your own country, like me, okay? But you don't. Investment expenses, you can count those. Everything you spent, okay? You charge yourself as an attorney, a lawyer, excuse me. then you put it there. You always check this box here. Always check the filing requirement box. Bond premium 0, tax exempt OID. That's the same amount of your entire OID. You're tax exempt. And there are certain reasons why you'll be tax exempt, and we're going to get to that. Okay? Always put the state information. The state tax identification number is yours, the issuer. State tax withheld is always 0. The state copy of this you're going to send to whoever the company is, the recipient. They're the company. They're the company. They're not you. Y'all looking at this wrong. The recipient is not you. You're the payer. You paid them with your gold and your silver. You're just reporting this to the IRS so that way the company is taxed on this amount. You got a ticket? Judge them messing with you? They use your name? $100 million. You warn them, hey, it's going to cost you $100 million. You got locked up. They fingerprinted you. How much it is per fingerprint? $100 million for a fingerprint. That's $1 billion. They use your fingerprint. They got it in the system. Now you report that. They're the recipient of your assets. It's not talking about you getting the money. This here is talking about you getting the money. Right here. That's why you go back to this code right here, and it said pay in advance interest on the public debt by a period of not more than a year. This gets you paid. And this. Not this. This is a report. Those that was in that group and put themselves down as a recipient and the company as the payer. Woe to you because you committed fraud. The company has to do this. The issuer. The description. They use your copyright. They use your patented name. Put it there. They use your silver and gold. Put it there. They use your Rap by King Stevian. Put it there. Real estate. Still real estate because it's my voice. My stuff is labeled as real estate. 13-digit barcode. Okay? Not going to go all the way through this. I want to just touch on certain things here. Okay? So you have a great understanding. But find out where their state is at. They're the recipient. Wherever their state is at, their corporation is at, is where you're going to send this state copy, state tax department copy for state tax. This is how they get in trouble with the state for state taxes. This is our goal, to have them in debt like they have us. They're already in debt with us because they use our information, whatever, all that, fake names, all this stuff here. Got them. Now, the state going to come after them. Then, at the same time, the IRS will come after them. Once this is submitted electronically, the state is notified. Just to let y'all know. Or when the IRS receives it. We don't deal with the electronic one. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go over that anymore. I'm just giving y'all something to open y'all up. Open y'all eyes. Okay? OID is dealing with the foreign stuff. Y'all, meaning you'll have to have your status corrected. Have your 9-8 ready. In your all caps name. First, middle, last. Trust. Stop trying to do this stuff without your status being corrected. You're going to have your ass handed to you for touching that foreign money. And you don't supposed to be messing with it if your status ain't corrected. It's the job of the Secretary of the State where you were born at to handle all this for you. So if you haven't corrected your status, Form 56, 2840, and the dual power of attorney with a foreign barcode, get out the game. Hang it up. Okay? Let's move on. I pulled this up. I got a sheet that I got a bunch of stuff on, but I want to go over here dealing with the Form S3 and the Form D of the SEC. Okay? It says, why register debt securities before market trading? Okay? Registered debt securities before market trading provides essential benefits for both issuers and investors. Now, let's go back to the code. The secretary may what? Issue a bond, note, or certificate of indebtedness authorized under this chapter whose principal and interest are payable in a foreign currency. Foreign currency. Y'all see that? Stated in the bond, note, or certificate. The secretary may dispose of the bond. How do they dispose of the bonds, y'all? They put them on Treasury Direct. The Treasury Direct is an arm of the United States Department of the Treasury. So that's where the bond goes. It also can be on Fidelity and Charles Schwab and other places, whoever wish to sell that bond, whoever the United States government partner up with to market the bond. Okay? So it goes here, let's see. Secretary made a deposit. I'm trying to look for the part where it talks about the Treasury marketing, doing all this stuff. That's another part where the Treasury will do whatever it can to sell those bonds to raise back the money for the investors, so that way the investors in the bond can get interest. Okay? So when you say your bond, did you register your debt instrument? That's the only way you can say it's your bond. That's the only way. You ain't done that, shut up, fly away. Okay? Issuers and investors. Who's the issuer? Let's go back over here. Issuer's name. That's you. Okay? So King Stevian got a bond. Yeah, I got a bond, meaning someone owes me. When you talk about you have a bond because you looked on the stock market and seen your birth certificate bond, that ain't your bond. You are the debtor that owes. You're the one that caused the bond to be created, you idiot. You never settled the debt. That's why we settle with gold and silver. You can only settle a debt with real value, with real substance, something. You can't settle a debt with a debt. So once you do your dispute ladder, once you got your proof that you sent them the gold and silver and you show it to the Treasury, all of the payments have to stop. Let's go over there to prove this to y'all. 31 CFR 240.14. Let's go here. Let's go here. Cornell University. Who's Cornell? I knew a guy named Cornell. Yeah, he took my girlfriend. Cornell took my goddamn girlfriend. Bump you, Cornell. Go to hell, Cornell. Anyway, can you serious? Nah, I ain't serious. I'm just joking. How's it going, though? And you need that woman took from your behind. You ain't no damn good. No, nigga, you ain't no good. Anyway, a guardian may be appointed in accordance with applicable state law, or a fiduciary appointed in accordance with other applicable law. That's Form 56, 2848. Global power of attorney, in fact, may endorse checks issued for the following classes of payments, the right to which under law does not terminate with the death of the payee. So y'all wonder why they still making money on your grandmother or your great-grandmother or your granddaddy or great-granddaddy. I can't say your dog, but I know Fido died. Let's get a moment of silence for Fido. That's enough. Okay, payments for the redemption. Redemption. They talk about redemption manual. He ain't talking about this. It ain't no redemption. So you know what Jesus was talking about now. Redemption of currencies are for principal and or interest on U.S. securities. That's the debt instrument. Payments for what? Tax refund. So you go to H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, they get money for you. You never gave them power of attorney. So everybody who went to Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, Do a dispute ladder on them. You didn't give them the authorization. You didn't give them power of attorney. You signed a power of attorney. Go to H&R Block or Jackson and ask them for a copy of the power of attorney. If they can't give it to you, then you don't say a word. Just walk out the door. And then do your dispute ladder. And you'll get your money, and they'll stop being paid payments on you. You got to settle the debt on H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt. And any other tax preparer. Let's go. And payments for goods and services. A guardian or other fiduciary endorsing any such check on behalf of an incompetent payee must include, let's go see who the payee is. That's a good one. See who the payee is. Payee means the person that the certifying agency designated to receive payment. Okay? So incompetent payee. Strange, ain't it? The person that the certifying agency designated to receive payment. So did you designate them? On behalf of an incompetent payee. So wait a minute. An incompetent payee. The one designated is the payee. I think they messed that up. Because why would someone incompetent receive a check? Anyway, let's go on. Must include as part of the endorsement an indication of the capacity. What's your capacity? Trustee, fiduciary, what? In which the guardian or fiduciary is endorsing. An example would be John Jones said that's why we do King Nodge of the what? Williams estate. Why? Because a lot of y'all are missing this. Because y'all just saying John Jones by Mary Jones, whatever. No. You're missing the part about the capacity. You're the king of the estate. That's the capacity. Okay? King or queen is because that's what we are on the land noticed by them. Okay? Black Laws Dictionary. Registration. Look up registration under Black's Law Dictionary, edition 3. John Jones by Mary Jones, guardian of John Jones. When a check endorsed in this fashion is presented for payment by a financial institution, it will be paid by a treasurer without submission of documentary proof of the authority or the guardian or other fiduciary. The understanding that the evidence of such claim authority to endorse may be required by Treasury in the event of a dispute. This is why we do a dispute. So now they're going to tell you, and this is what I'm getting to because I want y'all to hear this. A guardian or other fiduciary may not endorse a check issued for any class of payment other than one specified in paragraph A1 of this section. When a check other than one specified in paragraph A1 of this section is received by a guardian or other fiduciary, the check must be returned. Y'all hear this? So you didn't assign them, so the payment has to be returned. So now we're going to bankrupt them if everybody got on board and did dispute ladders to the certified agency with information. That might be your bank, that might be the Treasury. They should know who the certified agency is. With information as to the incompetence of the payee and the documentary evidence showing the appointment of the guardian. So they got to show two things. Where's the evidence? What is their status that says they are incompetent? See? Showing the appointment of the guardian or other fiduciary in order that a replacement check and future checks may be drawn in favor of the guardian or other fiduciary. Y'all get that? So it says, if a guardian or other fiduciary has not been appointed, check this out, all checks, all checks issued to an incompetent payee must be returned to the certifying agency. That's your bank, that's the Treasury, for determination as to whether, under applicable laws, payment is due and to whom it may be made. So that means they're going to go in and they're going to correct the record and send you your money because that place, T-Mobile, Fidelity, your bank, whoever's supposed to have been giving the payments to you, but they wasn't. So that's why I went to this. Y'all can get a great understanding, okay, of this code. So OID, going back over here. Investors, your gain, enhance market credibility, improve transparency, and access to a broader investor base through detailed financial disclosures required by the Securities Act. So, what they're saying is, when I registered this, and I'm showing y'all these two things if y'all was going to go the long route, I'd rather go the short route right here with the United States Department of the Treasury, where they say the Secretary may issue the bond. See? Other than the Secretary, you would do one of these forms, that is Form S3 by the SEC or Form D by the SEC. One is for public, one is for private. Okay? And we're going to get to, in the end, why we're talking about these two forms, because I'm going to show y'all how to issue your own securities. I spoke about this before to the group, and I'm speaking about it again. I'm going to give y'all the list of how to do this. Okay? So stay tuned, everybody. Okay? So the Secretary may issue a bond. So I'd rather go with the Secretary, because dealing with these two forms is a long process. But if you just want to be all big and bad, say, I have my own bond, you have your own bond when you deal with the Treasury the right way. Just to let you know. Okay? If you want to go through SEC and go through all that paperwork, be my guest. Knock yourself out. Okay? You'll gain enhanced market credibility, improve transparency, and access to a broader investor base. Y'all get it? It's kind of like you got your own client list. See? So we create another instrument. I want y'all to know how this is. Your instrument is a company. Your instrument is a company. Your negotiable instrument is a company. Going public. IPO style. What does IPO stand for? Okay. Initial public offering. Okay. So, it says the registration process ensures compliance with SEC oversight, establish standardized trading protocols, and implements theft prevention, controls that protect ownership records. You'll also benefit from more efficient secondary market trading. See, yes. So it's kind of like, and I'm going to get to it, and when you deal with your negotiable instrument, when I show y'all how to do it yourselves, it's going to deal with secondary markets. Okay? Yep. Automatic clearing, you don't got nothing to worry about. That's going to happen in our sense of automatic clearing system. I'm going to show y'all in the end how we're going to do it. I told y'all this before. Y'all just let it go in one ear and out the other, but I'm going to allow y'all to do it now. Because we have to do this if we're going to make these boogers our debtors. They flipped the game on us and we allowed it. But it's time to take all that back. And real-time price quotation capabilities. These regulatory requirements create a protective framework that maintains market integrity and reduces investment risk. Understanding the full scope of registration advantages will strengthen your securities trading strategy. Okay? So, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to go to the next one. Investopedia. What is SEC Form D? SEC Form D is required for companies selling securities. Regulation D or Section 4A5 exemptions. Form D provides basic information about the company and investors. Now, Form D, I got it right here on my desk, is a 30-page document. Let's see, no. That's the one that's for 14 pages. But every page on Form D you have to fill out. Now, the one that is longer but shorter, and the reason I say it's longer but shorter, the Form S3 has 30 pages, thick, like a little book. But there's only 3 to 4 pages to fill out. The rest is reading and showing you how to fill this thing out. So you choose which one you want to do. But one is for private, one is for public. Okay? You limit the shareholders on one of these. I don't remember which one it is. It might be the Form D, if I'm not mistaken. But read it in your own time. It might be this one right here, the D. Okay? Because I was looking at it earlier. My main topic of discussion is not these two forms, but I'm just going over this a little bit so you have a great understanding of the OID and 8281. OID 8281. Got to say that right. See? That's why I'm doing this. Okay? Form D must be filed within 15 days of the first sale. So this is once you got your CUSIP number. Let's go down here. You get your own CUSIP number. Now, I told y'all want an LEI number. And I hope the King Josh showed everyone in the group how he went about getting his LEI number. You got to pay for it every year. It's renewed every year. Okay, it's not that much at all. Okay? But, yeah, CUSIP number. So when you send it to the trader, make sure you put please issue. Okay? So that way they know you're giving them. On this video, we're showing them how, well, I'm showing y'all how to instruct them, mainly. Okay? Those are things will always change. They will always get better. It's not that we made any mistake or anything. We're making it more detailed. Because there are different ways we did it, but we wasn't very detailed about everything. So we should have had the CUSIP number once we turned the bond around on the company. We wasn't getting that. So now we're asking for it. Okay? Issue date is the date the instrument went out to the company. That's your executive order. Okay? Remember, once you do all this stuff, it's within 30 days now. Okay? In 30 days, the debt instrument. Okay? So make sure you fill this out, send it in. Okay, let's go back over here. Form D must be filled out within 15 days of the first sale and annually. If the offering continues, late filing fee penalties can be accessed, which vary state by state. So, yeah, you will have to register with the state dealing with these two, the Form D and the Form S3. Form D plays an important role in the regulatory environment, especially in private placement. So, Form D is the private one, which is about 14, 15 pages. I knew one on was. Okay? Private, public. Okay? Let's get out of that, because I don't want to visit that again. And then you go look on, blog.skilletal.com. You type in blog.skilletal, skillitall.com in Google, and then type in whatever it is, S3 form, or the Form D, okay, and it'll come up. All right. So what do I got over here for y'all? Here go the forms right here. That's what it looks like. Form D, 18 pages actually, not 14. Okay, very simple. You know. Okay. This one is more simpler. Pull that up. But it got 30 pages. 30. See? 1 page, 2 you fill out. Thought it was the third one. I think the third one is way down to the bottom. Let's go. So that's 2. You want to read this. Got a lot of requirements there. There the price. Do the registration. Where is that? See? Where they're giving examples about the bonds. And then here go your page, signature page. So there's only 3 pages you have to write on. And this is the S3. Okay? So we're out of that. Get out of that. Get out of that. Showed y'all about the 1099A. Dealing with the instrument. Okay? So, let's go on over to the lesson. Yay! All right, then we can get out of here. We got 8 pages on this. When I send out the link for this video will only be up for about 12 hours. Then after that, it's private. Then it goes out to the members only along with this Word document so they can look over all the time. Okay? Now all this links back up with what I just went over. So, CAS, negotiable instruments, public, private, yourself. So, what is it? CAS, negotiable instrument, public, private, yourself. That's wrong. Supposed to be in. I don't know how the world that happened. Somebody must have went in there and changed it. And I had a hacker in my stuff earlier. Make negotiable instruments public, private, yourself. I have no idea how that happened. But, yeah. Sorry about that. Original issue discount is a type of interest. Let's start right there. Type of interest. So, Ghost, what is the original issue discount? Hey, where's the OID? It's a goddamn IRS instrument. Wrong. No. It's a type of interest. Let's start with that. Say it with me. A type of interest. OID is a type of interest. OID is a type of interest. That's that thing that I will finesse. Yeah. Anyway, King, stick to your day job. Anyway, that is not payable as it accrues. Y'all get that? So this is that advance that the Treasury is going to give you. Okay? See? Because the one that accrues is in the end when someone redeems the bond. Okay? OID is normally created. It's created. OID is normally created when what? A debt, comma, usually a bond, is issued. Wait a minute. Issue a debt. Okay? So I issued the debt. Okay? Not the debt instrument. The debt is issued at a discount. So I'm not issuing the debt to the company. I'm not giving them a discount. The Treasury, I'm giving the discount. See? But the principal is a benefit when I cut it down. Keep that in mind. And you'll see it later. In effect, selling a bond at a discount, convert stated principal. Now, wait a minute. Selling it to the Treasury. Selling a bond, okay. At a discount, converts stated principal into a return on investment. Or interest. Yes. The accurate determination of principal and interest is necessary. In the United States tax law to determine the basis of property and to determine whether an amount paid is deductible and includable as interest or simply a non-taxable debt repayment. Y'all get the point? Get the purpose. Let's go into an example. Most loans require interest payments. Now, we got to pay attention. Loans that require inadequate, y'all see that word right there? Adequate, inadequate security. Or no interest payments bear original issue discount. Let that dawn on y'all. In the United States, whether interest is adequate, get it, is determined with reference to the applicable federal rates under the Internal Revenue Code. And that goes back into 26 U.S.C. 1445 about the adequate securities. Original issue, and there's other codes too. You know, just think it stops there. Original issue discounts on debt instruments are taxed each year, even though the debt may not be repaid until a later date. Get it? So the people might not pay the debt back that you billed, or you paying the treasury back. Yeah, you got to pay the treasury back. Why y'all think it's y'all money? Why would I get something from the treasury and then go spend it? You make interest. And we do get some type of interest where you can spend it if you want to, but the best thing to do is to just hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. The tax system will impute an interest rate on the loan. The loan. So you're getting a loan from the United States Department of the Treasury. Okay? The rules for calculating the original issue discount utilize a compounding interest formula. Yep, that's true. So every month interest comes, boom, interest on top of interest. With the principal recalculated every 6 months. That's why. Where did we get that from? Let's go back over here so y'all can see it yourself. You're going to go over here. Oh, that's the wrong one. I didn't want to go there. It's not where I was. I was over here. Let's go. Accrual method. Right there. 6 month accrual period. Are y'all getting this? Remember I say, if it don't connect, reject. Let's go back. Under the Internal Revenue Code, original issue discounts on debt instruments are taxed each year, even though the debt may not be repaid until a later date. The tax system will impute an interest rate on the loan. The rules for calculating the original issue discount utilize a compounding interest formula with the principal recalculated every 6 months. Section 1272A, please type that in and read, of the tax code requires that the original issue discount is includable in the lender's taxable income at the end of the year, each tax year, or part of the tax year if the loan was not owned for the full year. Here's some examples. Bond issuance price, $7,462. Bond redemption price, $10,000. The original issue discount is what? It was discounted at $2,538. So do y'all understand what the original issue discount is? Bond redemption, bond issuance price, amount at maturity, when it's redeemed. Okay? Now, The daily portion of the discount uses a compound interest formula with the principal recalculated every 6 months. The following table illustrates how to recalculate the original issue discount for a $7,462 bond with a $10,000 repayment and a 3-year mandatory maturity, date. Now, those who are on child support might be wondering why the judge sit there and have you come back into court in 6 months, or if you ain't paid child support in 6 months, they send out a warrant for your arrest. It's a tax debt, and they're arresting you for taxes. That's what they're doing. They do all these calculations at the end of 6 months because they have to answer to the Treasury on this. Okay? Or according to the SEC. This is why some of you who say, oh, I did a FOIA and found this under the SEC. Well, these are the things you also need to be looking at. That's why I say you need to do that dispute letter to the Treasury. And they're really getting in trouble by the SEC and the CID division. So I want you to see this. They got the yield right here at 5. Okay? These are the years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it might be the period, the 6-month period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So that would be what, 3 months? No, 3 years. Excuse me, 3 years. $476. It ends. You can do your calculations on that. Boom, 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 boom. And then add it in, come up with that. United States tax. The portion of the loan that is repaid consists of a repayment of capital and a payment of interest. Original issue discount rules separate the portion of the repayment that is attributable to interest and then taxes that amount at ordinary income rates. These rules prevent the avoidance of tax that might otherwise be available by characterizing the repayment as a capital gain, which is taxed at a lower rate, or by deferring the recognition of income until the bond is repaid at maturity. So y'all who keep getting these checks from the United States Treasury or the IRS, which is still coming from the Treasury, and y'all went and spent the money, y'all have to repay that. Now you see why you don't spend it, for to put it in the Fidelity brokerage account and get interest on that every month and live off the interest. Some of y'all assholes went out there, got millions of dollars, especially this idiot who went out there and had these 3,000 OIDs done. He has no idea what the fuck he's supposed to been doing. That dumbass David sat here and told this man, yeah, this is the way you do it, this is how you can do it, you can get money, you can do this, you can do that, and told all y'all, this is what you can do and supposed to do. And was lying to y'all. I'm sitting there reading everything. I'm reading everything from the goddamn SEC, the IRS, and y'all assholes sit and believe this man. Y'all Coppertones believe this Caucasian man who I told y'all what he was doing. He's trying to get y'all trapped up, have some black monkeys locked up in a goddamn cage. And excuse me, all my Caucasians out there, I still love you. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to this one who is misleading black people, along with that doggone Chris Hauser. Y'all gonna start listening to me and taking heed to what I'm showing y'all and been showing y'all. You see it with your own eyes. It connects so you cannot reject. And I'm not done. I'm only on page 2. So what the hell are you going to do? Some dummy will say, oh, I still don't believe none of it. Well, buddy, I get this from the IRS. I get this from Investopedia. Only factual stuff here. Bond is repaid because the Treasury creates a bond. Remember it said that under the code, 31 U.S.C. 3123, the Treasury may issue a bond. Because the purpose of an OID is for you to raise money for your trust. That's what it's for. Use that to make money off of, and then you doggone distribute the interest to your beneficiaries. Get whatever done by your land, do whatever you can do, but you better make sure that debt is big. And our debt that they owe us, okay, is very big. $100 million for using your name improperly, okay? Unpaid lawful money, interest, demand money. Okay, there are a number of exceptions to original issue discount rule, including tax-exempt obligations, United States savings bonds, short-term obligations less than 1 year to maturity. This is what we mainly deal with here. Obligations fixed by natural persons. Yes, you're a natural person, you do not pay taxes. The problem with that group, and it says before 3/2/1984, but you can still do it because there's loans between natural persons. See? But they have y'all, the IRS have y'all as a corporation because you never corrected your status. If a king or queen steps in the middle, there's no way they can say your all caps name or lowercase name is the same, because that now the king just took the place of the living being, which is the beneficiary. So now the king or queen is acting as the what? The straw man, but the king or queen is still the living being. Now he or she can give it to the beneficiary. I'm going to have to use that in a goddamn rap. Boy, that sounded good right there. Woo, all I needed was a beat behind that dang swift talking right there. God dang, woo. Well, the woman I throw my panties on the stage. Woo! God dang, King, your rap so sweet, boy. Anyway, what is a debt instrument? A debt instrument is for all you newbies, all you babies. A debt instrument is a financial tool. A tool. Let's look at this. A tool. Let's just rest for a second. Financial tool. What is your dollar bill? A financial tool. What is your $5 bill? Financial tool. Even your $2 bill. What is your $10 bill, $20 bill, $100 bill, your paycheck, your W-2, financial tool. Your bank statement, financial tool. Your invoice to the company, financial tool. The invoice that you acquired with a 1099-A, financial tool. That is used to what? Raise the roof. Let's raise the roof. Come on, Luke. Raise the roof. Woo, woo, woo. Nah, I ain't talking about that. Anyway, raise capital. How's that done? I just told y'all about loans. If you don't connect, reject. It is a documented binding obligation between what? Two parties, which one party lends funds to another. Now, remember I told y'all 26 U.S.C. 1445? It says that the transferee or the transferor can pay the tax debt. This is what's going on. Import, export. Do you see why the 1099 OID deals with foreigners? Because it's import, export, and when they send you that bill, T-Mobile is from over there in Germany, and so what they do is they set up offices in the United States, so that way they send you the bill to make you think that it's domestic to domestic. When in reality, they're foreign, and in reality, you're foreign. You are an Indian of the land, a native of the land, and yet they are foreign to your land. That's why Jesus in the scripture said the children are exempt. You're a native of the land, you're exempt. But he said, the less offend them, go pay my tax and yours. Meaning he didn't have to do it. Because it wasn't his time to die. They would have raised up some fight and, they would have tried to take him to the cross early. So he went ahead and did it. And that's why I told y'all, sometimes you have to do things even though you don't want to. So y'all who they try to force to get a driver's license, man, just go and get the goddamn driver's license, but make sure you sign it with the king name. Sign it with the king name, so that way they can never say it was you. It was the king that signed it for me. not the straw man. Cited King such state. With the repayment method specified in the contract. It's going down. Debt instruments can vary in form. From bonds, loans, to credit lines. So what they do is they pay the tax for you, 26 U.S.C. 1445, and say you took out a loan. All y'all who own child support, they get the lawful money that you didn't get, the interest. And they make you pay back the principal, which is the tax loan. I told y'all. With adequate security. Bonds and loans to credit lines. They're commonly used by both public and private entities. Some debts are secured by collateral, which is you child support straw man. You're mixed with it. So what you got to do is you got to give a guarantee of silver, gold, one of the rap albums, and remove yourself as the collateral. The way they do it is, they say you're like a contractor, and you're working for them under a contract. Those who are in Florida, look under that code when you first walk in the courthouse and see what it says. It says contract. And most involve interest, a schedule for payments, that's what y'all own when y'all in that child support, and a time frame to maturity. They try to keep you in there. To keep paying on this, paying back a loan. They're saying they advance you the loan, which they did it. That's why you have it on your credit report, a loan for child support. It's a tax loan. If it has a maturity date, bonds are common types of debt instruments that governments and corporations use to raise capital. So you see why you're going to put the bond on the company? You're raising capital because it's that dang on corporation don't want to give you your goddamn lawful money. So we're claiming it all as principal. And then whatever interest on top of our own interest, we get that too. Got it? That's why we can shoot it to a sky-high amount now. Your interest plus your principal. Now, you get 3.6 if it's 1 year. What is 3.65 or 3.56 interest on that? That's your interest. So now while you ain't got that advance, you're going to let that thing sit up. You're going to be getting a lot of interest, baby. King, did you call me, baby? I got a husband. Well, husband, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a baby. Used to raise capital. What is debt security? Now, before we go to debt security, let's take this break. Okay? Now, here's a commercial. I'm going to play like I'm doing a commercial. Man, I had arthritis in my hand, in my finger. I had to go to the doctor about 3 times to get shots in my goddamn joints in my finger. And nothing would work. So the doctor prescribed me some. He said I had high blood pressure as well. So what I went and did, I filled the subscription, or what do they call those things, prescription. And I came out in my vehicle, and I was sitting in the goddamn car, and I read the ingredients on that thing. And you know what it said? It said something that began with I don't remember the name, but I'll tell you what it was. Whatever it was, it's the strongest ingredient because it's the first thing in the ingredient list. So whatever the thing is first is always the strongest on the ingredient box. That's the same thing in your cookies. So it's, that's true. That's what that's all about. So I looked it up, and then I said, what things in nature have this? And it said garlic. So I took the goddamn garlic. All my high blood pressure went away, and my fingers, I was able to bend them again. And I went back to the doctor, and the doctor said, you're getting off that medicine right away. Your blood pressure is low. So I haven't been back on high blood pressure in a long goddamn time. And my hands, I can bend them. Now I can slap mother suckers all around because I can bend my fingers. At first I used to hit them and it didn't do nothing. But now I can slap them and grab them by the neck, and all because of what? The Heal Pill by the 100 Kings and 100 Queens. If you have those issues, you can order the Heal Pill. Just make sure you give a donation to paypal.me/STT Estate Trust, and I will mail you out a bottle of the Heal Pills. If the donation's enough, I might just send you 2. Okay? So make that thing do what it do. Now back to our regular scheduled programming. All right? This is the real programming because, hey, I'd rather be programmed by this, the truth, than programmed by some stuff that's fake. That Jake the Snake. All right. So let me get into this right because I wanted to go over here to this one. There's a ladder. I'm going to go to this. Woo! Y'all going to love this. Right here. Your logo goes right here. This is a template, and y'all can, type it up, use it. But this will be something that you add in with your 8281 when you mail it off. And also include this with the Treasury packet that you're going to send to the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Okay? Right here it says, Dear Department of the Treasury, we, the issuers, see, are sending our required documents, debt instruments, according to 31 U.S.C. 3123, for the purpose of you, the Secretary, issuing a bond, par value, based on the debt amounts. We are requesting that you pay in advance interest on the stated public debt for a period of not more than 1 year, according to Section B of the above code. That also is reflected in the attached 8281 form and OID. We thank you for your cooperation in advance on this matter. And then you got on the right side, because we're on the right side. Remember, on the left side is the goat, so you never put anything on the left side. You always put it on the right. Your position goes here. Title goes here. So if you're trustee, executor, executrix, you put that here. King or queen name. Boom. Got it? Simple and plain. This goes with your 8281 as a cover letter. And when you do your tax packet to the Treasury, you're going to still give that to them as well. That's 2 different addresses for this. Okay? Y'all can type this up yourself, or you can request it from me. Cityside2006@duck.com. Got that? Now let's get back. Let's get back. Here, baby. We gonna get back. Ooh, baby. We gonna get back. Take that. All right. What is a debt security? Debt security is also known as debt instruments. See? And including government and corporate bonds provide a fixed stream of income through interest payments. These instruments are generally less risky than equity securities because they involve repayment of the principal. While they can yield stable returns, understand their types and associated risks, such as issuer default, is crucial for informed investment decisions. A debt security represents a formal loan an investor extends to an entity. See? Well, so who is the issuer of this? That would be the Treasury. So they're the loaner, and they give it to your corporation or trust. Typically a corporation or governmental body. This instrument is not an ownership stake. Get it? But rather a promise of repayment structured under specific legal terms, the issuer serving as the debtor. See? So now we're going to the Treasury and becoming a debtor. That's why you do your trust. And not a person agrees to make periodic payments. See? Y'all see it with your own eyes. to the investor who holds the status of creditor. See that? So which one are you, the debtor or you're the creditor? So when you look at it in two different ways, you got the issuer standing as the debtor, okay? Agrees to make periodic payments, okay, to the investor. That's the investor who invests in the bond. They're the investor, so now they're the creditor because they pay for shares of that bond. IPO, corporation goes public, people invest in stocks, okay? They're creditors. They're giving you the money to build your corporation with. So when they invest in these bonds that you create, the corporations now are wealthy and healthy, and they're able to grow. Okay, y'all get it? So who holds the status of creditor? It's no different from a corporation like the banks. They're selling debt to the Treasury. That's what's going on. But that stuff has to be repaid. So don't get comfortable out there thinking it's y'all's. Y'all nizzles then had this thing messed up and all the while. That's why I always told y'all never spend it. Gain interest with it. Yeah, it's your lawful money, it's your interest, but you use that to get more interest off of it. Okay? These instruments are classified as fixed income assets. So if you go to, I would show y'all mine, but my fixed income assets is in the, I think it's like 300 million. I will show that to y'all one day. I am going to show it to you one day when I finish straightening out my asset list with Fidelity. Okay, because the repayment schedule and the principal repayment amounts are generally predetermined at issuance. The investor receives a predictable stream of income, making debt securities a stabilizing component in many investment portfolios. So y'all who sit there and thinking these bonds on these birth certificates and things are y'all are the most idiotic ever. Okay? I don't care what nobody say. They don't understand the stock market. This is the problem. If anybody try to tell you, oh, I'm going to sell you some Q-Sim, those are not y'all's. They selling y'all numbers that they can pull up out of anywhere. Debt securities are legally enforceable contracts that grant the creditor a senior claim on the issuer's assets compared to equity holders. Get it? So what is the asset? I told y'all, list your assets, acquire your assets, the bill, the contract, the invoice. Those are assets. You acquire them. Okay? 1099-A. Accepted and acquired on whatever date for you put the principal and you put the interest. Core characteristics and components. A debt security legally establishes a creditor-debtor relationship between the investor and the issuer. This relationship dictates that the investor has a contractual right to receive interest and principal. See? The central mechanism of any debt security is defined by three primary components: face value, coupon rate. So all y'all think that thing coupon at the bottom, I'm going to rip that off, that's coupon. Okay. And maturity date. The face value, also known as the principal, is the specific amount the issuer promises to repay. You see this? The issuer. So tell me I'm wrong. You can look it all up online. The issuer promises to repay the investor on the maturity date. So on that maturity date, whatever maturity date you put, you got to pay that shit back. So if I'm going to hold that thing for a year and the maturity date is then, I better get a bunch of interest off the amount of money or that initial principal amount. That's why I told y'all, Our interest and our principal is our principal together. So now we got 100 million, 500 million. Let me see how much I get. Let me see right now. Let's see, 500 million. That's why you see some bonds in the billion. 500 million times, let's see if the interest rate was 3.45%. You just made 17, off the money that they give you from your principal, you just made 17 million per month. Per month. No, yeah, per month. Okay? So if it's a year, 1 year, let's see. So you just made probably half of that back. Depends on if you did some special investing or something like that. But remember, it's interest on top of interest. So that money that you used, you get that principal back to them, and now by the end of the year, you'd have made close to $300 million. I hope y'all get that. Okay? Breaking this thing down to y'all, giving y'all the bread and butter of this stuff. Okay? The face value, also known as principal, is the specific amount the issuer promises to repay the investor on the maturity date. Okay? Most corporate and government bonds are issued in increments of 1,000. That's why on the OID, it says 1,000, OID per 1,000. So again, if it don't connect, reject. Look at the bottom of the 8281 where it talks about the $1,000. This value remains constant throughout the life of the security. That's why they said $1,000 OID every 6 months or per OID, regardless of market price fluctuations. The coupon rate is the fixed annual percentage of the face value that the issuer pays as interest. That's your coupon rate. This stuff you have to pay back. This is why you got to make that money work for you. Or have a business that's already generating a bunch of money where you can pay back this interest. But it's your job to make that principal work for you. You better hope and pray nobody don't steal that money. If a bond has a $1,000 face value and a 5% coupon rate, the investor will receive $50 in interest annually, often paid semi-annually. See, now we're looking at the 6-month thing again. This contractually stipulated rate determines the cash flow the investor will receive until the debt is retired. The maturity date is the specific calendar date upon when the issuer must repay the full face value to the investor. Let's highlight this. Y'all can remember this. Let's make this joker big here, because y'all really need to see this. Keep that on there. It's the specific calendar date upon which the issuer, you, must repay the full face value to the investor. So let's look at this. That's some of you got a check back. Y'all put it down as income tax. But what y'all doing is playing around with bonds and don't even freaking know it. And if the Treasury gave you something, you damn well got to pay that back. They're going to come for y'all. Y'all didn't even fill out the 8281. That's supposed to be done within 30 years. 30 months. I'm looking down at the 30 years here. In 30 days. This date can range from a few days for short-term instruments to 30 years or more for long-term bonds. And this is why your birth certificate is a long-term bond. Okay? Once the principal is repaid, y'all get a great understanding of this. On the maturity date, the debt security is extinguished and the interest payments cease. So they don't get no more interest. They're not talking about you. They're talking about the person that invested in the bond. So we are the bond creators, the issuers. So when you turn in that 8281, that's what you're doing. You're flipping the bond around back on them. When you do the OID and 8281 correctly and get your invoices with your barcodes and those things right there proving that you're foreign. I'm the only one teaching y'all this stuff. Okay? Okay, while the coupon rate, and you already know what that is, defines the contractual interest payment, the yield represents the actual rate of return an investor receives based on the current market price of the security. If a bond with a 5% coupon is trading below its market price of the security, if a bond, below its $1,000 face value, the investor's yield to maturity will be higher than 5%. Conversely, if the bond trades at a premium above par, remember the Treasury talk about at par in 31 USC 3123? That's where this plays in part. The effective yield will be lower than the stated coupon rate. Primary categories of debt securities. Now, pay attention. Debt instruments are broadly characterized based on the type of entity that issues the security and the duration of the underlying loan. The three main issuers in the U.S. market are federal government is one, corporations. Now, you can be part of the federal government, but I wouldn't. And I'm going to show you how you can be even without being part of them. Corporations, there you go right there, that's the key. And state or local governments. Local government is like a municipality, your city, your county, okay? And it can be you with your what? Assumed name under a corporation, your all caps name. It falls under state, okay? But the state is under what? Federal. They have to abide by the federal. See? So, because this is an instrumentality, your all caps name. Now, if you take it and send it to another corporation, then it is not. But your with it still can be acting on behalf of that corporation to make you a state government. Okay? Each category carries distinct risks, profiles, and tax implications for the investor. Government securities represent debt issued by federal government primarily through the Department of the Treasury. These U.S. Treasuries are considered to have the lowest credit risk globally now, because they are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. Treasury securities are characterized by their time to maturity. Treasury T-bills have maturities up to 1 year. Treasury notes, T-notes, have maturities from 2 to 10 years, and this is yours for your birth certificate. Treasury bonds, T-bonds, extend out to 30 years. So that's why it has a 30-year bond on your birth certificate. Corporate bonds are issued by public and private corporations to finance operations. So this is what you're doing this for. You're under the corporate bond. If you're doing the corporate bonds for your all caps name, this is what you're doing it for. Are issued by public and private corporations to finance operational needs, capital expenditures, or acquisitions. What are you acquiring? You will be acquiring your land for your tribe to be on. The cows, the horses, the pigs, some of y'all oink oink. Y'all want some of that bacon in the morning. I got some real bacon. It ain't no GMO pig. You ever heard of a GMO pig? Me either. But anyway, the quality of these bonds varies widely depending on the issuer, financial stability and leverage. Credit rating agencies such as Moody's and S&P Global assign ratings. Okay? So this comes into play when it comes down to you registering your stuff with the SEC here. Okay? You know you got to have a good relationship with the Treasury in order for the Treasury to do it. So keep everything G, do what I tell y'all with this stuff, and you will be fine. Bonds rated Baa3, BBB, or higher are classified as investment grade. Bonds rated below investment grade are termed high-yield bonds or junk bonds, indicate a substantially higher risk of default. The interest on corporate bonds is generally taxed at the federal and state level as ordinary income. Municipal bonds, or munis, I talked about that earlier, municipality, are debt securities issued by state, county, and city governments. See what I told you? So it lined up with what I said. As well as their agencies. See? So police departments, all of them, they're doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and highlight that. So when y'all get this through your email, you'll see. Right? And city governments as well as their agencies to finance public works. So again, they're raising money. They're getting a loan. Y'all clearly see it keep repeating itself to y'all idiots out there. Y'all all who got that money, go tell them all they got to pay that shit back. Sorry. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news to you. But y'all just acting like you know it all. You just want to do is get the money. But those who ain't ran off, got the tax class and ran off and going to try to get money, they're coming after you. You got a year, as y'all see. You got a year. The primary advantage of these bonds for a U.S. investor is the potential for tax-exempt interest income. So this is why when you say you're a municipality, tax-exempt. That's why you got to show your assumed name. So you're doing it as your all-caps name, your interest-free. All the interest you make off of this, tax-exempt. Interest earned on munis is generally exempt from federal income tax. So if you invest in one of these bonds and you get interest, you're tax exempt. Because you're helping the city. You're pretty much a shareholder in whatever debt they gave to the Treasury, and you're assisting them do whatever. So when y'all invest in these municipality bonds, you're helping the local police department beat up one of your Capitone brothers or sisters. Do not invest in those bonds. Sorry. But if you want to strengthen the hand, and the scripture says, don't strengthen the hand of the enemy. And that's what y'all doing when you do that. Okay? We create our own bonds with the Treasury, underwriter, and then it's reversed on them. So let this be of what the scripture said. We will be the lenders, and they will be the borrowers. And it is done. In some cases, it may also be exempt from state and local taxes if the investor resides in the issuing state. This tax advantage often allows municipal issuers to offer a lower coupon rate than a comparable corporate bond. The credit quality of municipal bonds is assessed based on the financial health of the issuing government entity. That's why I say, so your trust and everything needs to be in order. Your straw man needs to be in order. In the state you were born, issuing state. So you're selling the debt on that birth certificate, issuing state. Create the bond on them in your state. Money market instruments represent a distinct subset of debt securities characterized by short maturities, typically 1 year or less. These instruments are highly liquid and are used by corporations and governments for short-term financial needs. Examples include commercial paper and certificates of deposit. See? So they're using that money to invest in like a certificate of deposit. So if I had a brokerage firm, I could do the same thing. So now you believe what I said. You take the money, you put it in a fidelity account, let it sit. You can get a line of credit against it if you want. I'd rather let it make interest. Issued by banks. Commercial paper is unsecured promissory notes issued by large corporations. So they're investing with this money. The high credit quality and short duration of these instruments make them popular choices for institutional investors seeking to manage liquidity. These securities are generally discounted instruments. The investor buys them for less than the face value and earns the difference at maturity rather than receiving periodic coupon payments. Now, this is it, guys. I'm going to show y'all how to register your debt instrument. Now, once you get your debt instrument, you don't have to go through the Treasury for a bond. You don't have to do that. Now, even if you do, this is the advantage. You can prove to the Treasury that this company had no right to go create a bond on you. Now you got the company owing a debt to you, which now the bond is reversed on them. Now that's the new instrument. But the instrument that the Treasury has from them, which is the contract on you with the company, you're going to take that and you're going to register it as an NFT and a token. So you make money twice, fiat. But same thing, you're going to hold it, it's going to gain its interest or whatever, go up, and you're going to take those profits and put it back into the Fidelity account. Let it sit. Don't ever spend that because you will be taxed on it once you pull it out. But if you put it back into another investment, they cannot tax you. Okay? Now you're getting more interest off of that. See? So then you got your tokens. You're going to do a token. That NFT, you're going to put your silver stamp or your gold or silver, attach that with it, that negotiable instrument, and put it on OpenSea, or I forgot the other one, but I'll let the king tell you in the bottom the other NFT sites. And you do it as a token. Same name, whatever the NFT you name the token the same thing, and then you raise funds from that as well. So now you're making double. You got your bill, and you're making money off your bill, and other people are buying that NFT, and they're reselling it, and you're making residuals off of that. Okay? Now, benefits of doing so. It stops fake bill collectors and U.S. from keeping bonds on you. Because once you tell the Treasury that you have a NFT and a token, and that instrument that they issue, that contract that they issue to you, Treasury, is on the market over here, and we're making money, and we didn't give them power of attorney, okay? This is in the dispute ladder. You can add this. We didn't give them power of attorney to go to you to make anything or get anything. But we have this same contract over here on this side here to prove. You print that out. You got a token, print that out. Okay? Now it stops it. They can't get no more money. We already read that. That's why I read that in the beginning of this video, so that way you will clearly see what happens. It operates like a S corp, giving shares ownership to certain individuals. So just like the Treasury create a bond and they issue it for sale, it's an IPO. People invest in it, and you have to pay this back. But with the NFT and token, you don't have to do it. It's all yours. So see the benefit and the difference between having a bond and an NFT and token. And of course, you're getting crypto, but we don't want that. Converted, you can convert those NFTs and the tokens over to foreign money if you wanted to. But if you're in the U.S., convert it over and put everything in your Fidelity brokerage account, interest bearing, because you're going to bear interest and get interest, and then you keep the interest and distribute it out to your beneficiaries. Get it? Now, if you pay taxes to the corporation, which that's what your principal is, you can get that refunded. Settle the debt, get it refunded, and now you can use that to also put, while you have the NFT and token, into that Fidelity brokerage account. and now you're making interest 3 ways. Checkmate. Okay, so you got shareholders that own it. You see, they own the NFT. They own the tokens. And the tokens are backed by your silver or your gold of your NFT, because you're going to stamp it with your silver or your gold or your copper, or back it by that with it and show it on the NFT site. And then have your barcode on it, and there it is. Okay? It proves you are the first in line, first in time. So they might have put this bond, if you go back to your contract date, okay, and that's when you're going to do your 1099A and acquire it. So you're going to prove the Treasury, send that to the trader and say, hey, this is when I acquired this debt. You're going to go back to your contract, show and prove of the 1099A with approval letter, show that it's on the NFT site, show that it's on the token site. You're going to show a picture of it, that contract, first and last page, however, and you're going to send that to the trader with the dispute letter along with your power of attorney, and all bucks stop there. They get no more money. All right, makes it for your beneficiaries, not corporations. Corporations, okay? So it's not for your corporation or your trust. The trust gets it, and they distribute out to the beneficiaries. Okay, and of course you get a percentage of that because you're the fiduciary. You don't think you're not getting paid either. All right. But what I would do with the beneficiaries, I would tell them to get a line of credit with Fidelity, and that's how I would handle that. So that way they're never taxed. When you pull money out, the beneficiaries are you. It's going to be taxed by the U.S. You're not a taxpayer. So you have to use credit. That's what's meant by a secured private creditor. So you're operating with credits. Keep that in mind. This is what you got to do to get both. Get a barcode for the instrument from me. Okay? They cost. Okay? If you already have one of the instruments for getting the $29.99 per month deal that we have in the description below, you automatically get 2 instruments. Automatically. So you don't need a barcode. You already have it. But when it comes down to your barcode, you can use that same barcode on that instrument when it comes to this. Because now you're taking ownership of it. Or you can get a new barcode specifically for the ownership of that. Okay? Either or. Personally, me, I would get a whole new barcode, and I would put it on there and then do an assignment if I'm assigning it over to the Treasury. Okay? And assign it out to the people. So once you do your 1099A, and I showed y'all this earlier, anytime you're going to sign it on one of the NFT sites, you're going to do a 1099B on everyone you gave that instrument to. Okay? Now, do a dispute DLT letter on the company. Look at my video on YouTube called Do a Dispute Letter. And it'll tell you how to do it, and I just told you what to add in it. Next, back the instrument with silver, gold, or copper. That's the instrument that I just told you about. Okay? I gave you. Post the NFT on eBay, that's first, in the principal plus interest amount. Remember I told y'all, we're going after the principal and interest, because when we deal with the Treasury, this will be the full amount of the principal that we are receiving from the Department of the Treasury. And then we use that money and let it sit in Fidelity, and we gain interest. So now you do it through that. See? Next, you're going to post it ad in the newspaper, showing that you have an NFT available. You're going to put the barcode number in there. You're going to tell me to contact you through email if you need more information, or your phone number. You're just putting it out there. You're marketing it. Okay? Next, get certified deed and assignment deed. I just told you about that. Get the new barcodes from me. You're going that route. Okay? Register to sell the NFT on OpenSea and or to other NFT sites. You want 3 sites to put it on. And they're going to give you those codes, license numbers, so that way you can always have that on your 1099-Bs when you send out your 1099-Bs at the end of the year to the investors. Next, do a 1099-B, that's what I was just saying, or 1099-DA, that's for digital, with every sale. Okay? Last, report on the 1041 last page when you do your taxes. Okay? Now, let's go into this. Some more information, valuable information. Last page. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, regulates securities under laws like Securities Act of 1933. If an NFT, because y'all need to know this, qualifies as a security, typically an investment contract. So if you're putting up a contract, you would have to register with the SEC in many cases. Okay? But you need to check this act right here. Watch this. If the NFT qualifies as security, typically an investment contract under the Howey test. Howey test. Let me try to get over here and underline. Howey test. There we go. From the 1946 Supreme Court case, SEC versus W.J. Howey Co. Then yes. The offering generally must be registered with the SEC or qualify for an exemption. And this is what you want. You want to qualify for an exemption. Okay? So look that up on the SEC site. That's why I showed y'all the forms, Form D and Form S3 earlier. So you was wondering why he's showing us this. I'm putting it all together for all you out there. The Howey test asks, now this is the things you have to check for. If there's an investment of money. Wait a minute. Well, that's out of the question because there's not an investment of money here. Someone's buying something. So the answer is no. Okay. Is it in a common enterprise? No. If you're dealing with trust, no. 3, with a reasonable expectation of profit. Are you expecting a profit? Well, the answer is no. Because the funds that we're using is principal that's going to be used. Anything you make is U.S. dollar, that's principal. You do not ever spend the principal. Never, ever spend the principal. Use it. Use it. Remember at the beginning, this thing right here? It talked about using the negotiable instrument. You use it. And you get interest off that. Now you're going to use it, put it over in Fidelity, now you're getting interest off. So no. You're not expecting a profit from it. You're just trying to get a principal. Now, you might say it's a profit, but it's not. Because profit is what you use to stuff your belly with and your pockets with. Not for reinvesting. It's not a profit. Okay, that's like me going to the Treasury, raising funds to get money for what? Expenditures. That's not a profit. Derived primarily from the efforts of others. Now, is the others doing the efforts? With the residuals you're making, yes, but the main sales are from you selling it to the people who are buying your NFT. They're buying something. Okay? So I just want y'all to see that when it comes down to a contract. So it don't go with all those. So, but if yours does all this, you need to register with the SEC. And it says others, e.g. the issuer or promoter. Okay, most standard NFTs like pure digital art, that's what y'all got from me. Collectibles, that's what y'all got from me. Music, that's what y'all got from me. Are items bought for personal use. Now, see, this is why I told y'all to stick the barcode on there, back it up by the music or whatever, and now it's an NFT that's dealing with digital art, collectibles, music. We're turning the negotiable instrument of the corporation into a digital art collectible music. Some for personal use, which is you, your grandbabies, your sons, your daughters. So see how we bypassed all this up here? Goddamn G, you a goddamn genius. Well, you a goddamn genius. Forrest Gump. Anyway, aesthetic value, access, membership perks, or consumption do not meet this test. There you go. So when they buy the negotiable instrument that y'all have along with your silver, your gold, your music deed, now they have perks. So there we go. We bypass that. Some of you just want to be part of the SEC. You want to feel like you're big. Feel like one of them boys on Wall Street with them goddamn ties on, looking like an old man without old man damn suit. Anyway, do not meet this test and are treated as non-securities, similar to physical art or trading cards in 2025 under updated SEC guidance, including a token. We talked about the token taxonomy framework from Chairman Paul Atkins. Most NFTs fall into the category of digital collectibles rather than securities, especially without explicit promises of profit tied to the issuer's ongoing efforts. However, some NFTs can cross the security territory, triggering registration requirements. If marked with promise of future value appreciation, profits from the project's success, or returns based on the creator's entrepreneurial manager work, building a brand, ecosystem, or business. If they include revenue sharing, royalties funneled back to the issuer in a way that suggests investment-like returns, which this doesn't. Fractionized NFTs are those tied to investment schemes. Okay? Examples from SEC actions in 2023 cases, impact theory, Stone Cash, y'all look this up. The SEC treated certain NFTs as unregistered securities due to profit expectations. So that's the thing. We're not here for a profit. Profit is more fiat being made that you can spend and stuff your belly with and your pockets with, and settle for millions in penalties, disgorgement. A 2024 case, Flyers Club, involved NFTs for restaurant membership, where resale leasing for profit was promoted. See, can't do that. By 2025, the SEC shifted away from broad NFT crackdowns, drop investigations into major projects like Yuga Labs, Board 8 Yacht, Club, and OpenSea, Marketplace, open charges, closed probes, and provided clear guidance distinguishing collectibles from securities. Emphasize that art, music, collectibles without profit promises are generally not securities. Okay, bottom line, and this is the last thing we got here. Make sure. For typical NFT sales, one-off art or collectible without investment hype, no SEC registration is required. But if your NFT promise or imply investment returns, which that's not what it's doing, they can do it at their own risk. If they're doing, that's on them if they're selling it for a profit. But we just get our residuals. All NFT does that. Relying on your efforts unless you request that you don't want any residuals. Consult a securities lawyer. Non-compliance can lead to enforcement, fines, and forced repurchases. The landscape has become more creator-friendly in recent years, but it's still fact-specific. This isn't legal advice. Regulations can evolve. Okay, kings and queens, that is the end of the class. And if you didn't get this, then that's your ass. That's my Uncle Boy Blue laugh right there. Sound like the count from Sesame Street. One, two, Anyway, that's it. Lessons. Make negotiable instruments public, private yourself. That's a full breakdown of this. I hope that you all got this. Y'all learned, and y'all won't burn. Tell those who done those OIDs, hey, it's now their turn. Send them over here. Tell them pay the $29.99 and get the education that will save their lives. And they won't have to deal with the fake guru lies. All right? No more fiat ties. Let's go get this interest, get our land, get our native Indians, Ninos and Dios, get our land and get our tribe together and live the life we're supposed to be living, y'all, all the while. And let's flip this thing around on them, make them the ball and us the land. I'm King Stevian. I'm out. So, if you use this information to get free, do not blame me. Blame the L, the O, the R, the D. Won't he do it? Oh, yes, he'll do it. So what you need to do is get this knowledge and start to pursue it. I'm King Stevian, representing the 100 Kings and the 100 Queens. I am out. Peace.
Yeah. King Stevian.
Man, they need to let our people go. Tell them.
The Gold Album. Love and War.
That's right. Set them straight.
So what the world you standing around for?
No more talking. No
It's
warning.
time we raise the score.
Let's raise it. 100 kings.
You don't see me?
100 queens. Come on.
How can I breathe when your knee pressing on me?
How can I breathe this knee on me?
Let me breathe.
Let me breathe.
How can I see when the death's piling on me?
All them kids on me.
Set me free.
How can I breathe when your knees pushing on me?
Get your knee on me. So
Let
I
me
can't
breathe.
How can I see when the death's piling on me?
Set me free.
It's way past time that crooked colonizers running on the 1099 since the cross that they bring. You can hear, you can discern. It's the colonizers' turn. Get that wrath of our max times 800. That's 100 coming down on that ass. Watching our elders like the Judas stopped inside the ring where we boxing and you can't land. Yeah, the Moors whooping that ass. Them Indians whooping that ass. We beat them so bad our elders pass gas when they laugh. More Roman outland by the romance. They just like the romance. Cause we beat them with some fight. Like Protocol, he's so bad. Michael Jackson, we bad. With the riches from the rags. Now we talking to our great grands all about this man. Emperor Stevian, the dog who made the colonizers run away the race like Scarface and killed him and said that was the last. The king is who I be. So you can take it here from me so I can breathe. Put your backs to freeze and that's how you'll set us free. How can I breathe with the knee pushing on me?
Let me breathe.
How can I see when the death's piling on me?
Set me free.
How can I breathe when your knees pushing on me?
You stupid motherfucker. How can I
Let me
breathe?
breathe.
How can I see when the death's piling on me?
Set me free.
You better set me free. Set all our people free. That's right, cause it's y'all who kept us without a key. Motherfucker. Locked down in the basement like y'all keeping them doggone children. That's right. All the 300 that was lost in Washington, D.C. R.I.P. Y'all gotta know to send us to y'all schools, y'all hospitals, y'all grocery stores. We're building a new Black Wall Street right before your eyes. And it's no us. Let us breathe now.